Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It's a very showery and blustery. I'm just gonna do a rudimentary sighting up. Yeah, very wet and blustery and showery day here today. So I know I'm a few minutes early, but I'm just nearly ready. But I thought I'd get the camera going. So yeah, yesterday the live Q&A, it went really well, and thanks to everyone for popping by and asking some questions. I really enjoyed it. So we'll definitely do it again in the future. But always remember that any comments that you might leave today during this live stream, Nicola will screenshot and read them to me anyway. So I always get to hear what you've been chatting about while I've been turning. So this little piece of teak here, it was given to me by David Richard Julie, or Dr. D, as he's also known. So it's destined for Hoghton Tower, and that's Hoghton, Hoghton. So it's the thing with Hoghton Tower is they've asked me to stick within sort of like a price parameter, i.e. don't do things too expensive. Like, you know, if I did a bowl, you know, a 12-inch burl bowl or something, you know, it'd be sat there for a long time, because when people have done a tour of the castle and they go into the gift shop, you know, they're just looking to buy, you know, a little gift, not a huge piece of art. So bowls are really kept smallish, and certainly to within a price. So this'll suit Hoghton Tower perfectly. Little teak bowl. So this first part will be knocking it into round. Now David has already kindly knocked the corners off, so it should get whizzed into shape quite quickly and safely. I'll bring the tailstock up, but what I want to do first of all is just, I'll just measure this, just find a square facet there, and
4 5/8 inches.
4 5/8, so it's 4.5 inches.
0 inches.
This little rascal will turn off in a second. I'll just put it safe over here now. So yeah.
Turning off in 5 seconds.
Just turn power on to the lathe now. Just make sure that the compressor isn't turned on so it fires up and you can't hear what I'm saying. So anyway, let's just, I'm going to stand to the side and I'm just listening. So it sounds really well balanced, and it's only a small piece, so I'll be able to get this turning quite quickly. Bring the tailstock up still, just for that little bit of security, just while I'm getting it into a disc shape. So let's just get this tool rest where I need it to be. Now what I'm doing around the back here is I always, yes, I'm checking for clearance, but I'm checking with my fingers to make sure that the tool rest is running parallel. I don't want the tool rest like that, obviously, so I have a feel and just check that it's parallel to the edge of the blank. So obviously the blanks can be irregular and distorted. It's just an approximation, but I do have to check that. So anyway, I'm going to just get, and cheers everyone, always got a cup of tea. So the lathe will be spinning quite fast. So just find my starting position, get it going. Wow, it smells amazing. Just stopping for feel. Well, that feels. Well, that's 99% of the way there already. Well, I can't ask for more than that. So, that's pretty awesome. And a little bit of tear out, but that's quite cool, that. So I'm just going to that's pretty flat as well. He saved me a lot of work here. Thanks, Dave. So this first part, we'll be getting this outside. Mostly done. So let's just get that tail stock out of the road. Feel for where the centre is. Maybe drop it down just a smidge. Check again for that spacing. Find centre. I'll soon find out how close I am to centre in a second. Slightly below. So it was probably spot on to start off with. So there's a gentle feel there. Yeah, feels really, really good. Yeah, awesome. Well, I can bring the tailstock back in now, and you learn very quickly to get that tailstock out of the way as often as you can, because to catch the back of your hand or your elbow on these live centres, it's quite sharp, and you will cut yourself, guaranteed. So I always just get it out of the way as quickly as I can. So that should be enough now. So I just need to make my scratch mark now. That's all that's needed. Nice and quick like that. Just so I can feel where to make the cut with the parting tool. Obviously this is going to be the mortise for holding the work. Again, check for spacing, etc. Going at an angle to give me the dovetail. That should be okay at that. And now to remove this centre portion. It's nice and gentle. Get that centre pit out of the way now. Have a feel at that. I'm checking I have no score line or tooling mark there, and it feels like there's very little, if none, tear out. So I'll just tidy up this band here of. I wish you could smell this teak, it's absolutely incredible. That's pretty awesome there. Cool. In fact, I'm just thinking I've got a couple of pot-pourri lids left. Just thinking of a pot-pourri pot for them. I don't think they've got any pot-pourri pots left. Let me just check that I've got a lid. I've actually got 2 lids here. Not ready for this yet because it's going to go around on the other side, but I'm just going to feel for the design. So that feels, try and get it orientated, that feels like hummingbirds. And obviously it'll go on the other side in a recess. So that's hummingbirds. Let's have a feel of what this one is. Right. That's a bird also. And I think I don't know. It's another bird. I don't know if it's another hummingbird or a kingfisher or something like that. But anyway, which one do I prefer? I quite like this one. So I'll keep this one out so that can be used tomorrow. So that's pretty cool. So all I want to do is just really just soften this edge a little bit. It's almost going to be a canister, that sort of shape. Nice and gentle. So obviously there's nothing here that you haven't seen before, but I just love hanging out with you guys. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, and I get to share what I'm doing. So it's yes, a little bit of tear out there. So get the fine finishing tool. Now, it was recommended that, oh, let's just find this, that I get some ventilation blowing whilst I'm doing this. So that should be blowing things away. Got a little fan going there, I can feel that. Should make a difference. Can't remember where I left that. Right, so let's have a feel here, getting a bit closer than that. Check for spacing, have a feel, lock her down. So have a feel there now. It's practically gone, but for what it's worth, and because this item's going for sale in a stately home / castle / 45 manor house, I want to make sure that it's absolutely spot on finish wise, so we'll just make sure that we are ticking all the boxes. So again, a little feel. So this is lubricating those fibres, providing a better finish. I just have this little piece of tissue, it just gets rid of any paste build up on the tool. Let's have a feel of that now. That feels really nice. So again, it won't harm to just apply a little bit to this bottom face. I don't need to go into that mortise. It feels really, really good, and it's going to get some texture and sanding, but it's not needed. Check for spacing. Fire in the hole. Lovely jubbly. Cool, absolutely epic that. So I'm going to just put the goggles on now, because you can get, it's not cold today. And I find that those face shields, they do, after a bit, they feel a bit in your face. And the headband that's got fabric on it and padding makes me get hotter than I need to be. So as soon as I can just put some goggles on and keep a bit cooler, that's fine. So just getting a fresh piece of 120. My number one fan, that. Hey! Right, I'm going to have some noise now, but I'm going to go to 120. So, sorry about the noise. Turn the speed right down. Keep things nice and chill. Just soften that edge around. Get in there now. Nice and gentle. Almost feels medicinal, like antibacterial or something. It's cool. Piece of 180. 240. Spin it the other way now. So, nice and slow. So there you go, that's sanded to 240. So what I need to do now is put a spiral in the base. I'm going to get my small texturing tool. And don't forget, periodically, because these small ones generally don't have a bearing in the wheel, periodically, I don't do it every time because I'm just cautious of getting a load of oil, excessive amounts of oil on here and on the work. So periodically though, give it a lubrication because there's no bearing. So just have a feel roughly where. I'm going to turn the speed up. It's quite soft, this. Remember to get it going the other way. So the 5-second rule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Move across, angle it. 1, 3, 4, 5. And that's all you need. It's as simple as that to add a little flourish onto the bottom of the work. Because remember, you need to take as much time and care on the base. So the person that picks this up in the gift shop and they just turn it over to look at the bottom, if they do, they go, "Oh, that's nice." You know, you've taken time to do it all. You know, you're passionate about your work, and you don't want to skimp on any areas really. At the end of the day, you are promoting yourself as a craftsman, you know, and a skilled one at that. So yeah, don't shortchange yourself whatever you do. You know, you're not being true to yourself if you go, "Meh, no one will look at that." So whereas in fairness, they do look at that. And yeah, if there was nothing there but it was a good finish, they'd be happy with that. But going that little extra and putting a little detail in the bottom, doesn't have to be a spiral like that. It can be whatever you want it to be. You could do pyrography in the base or a little bit of carving, whatever. Entirely up to you. I just do this and I like it, and I do it on every piece I do. So we're going to apply some sanding sealer now to this. So get some tissue paper. Down. So I'm going to apply this into that mortise, and then I will use this brush just to work it in to that detail, and then we can apply sealer to the rest. Working it well in. Make sure that it's all covered. Every part, just wipe off the excess. Just let that set up a second now, and then we'll denib it. So that's dry now. Just denibbing. Get a clean bit of tissue. And the airline, just to blow the dust out of that detail, that spiral. So, second coat now. Again, sealer in the base. I nearly got some on the cloth there. Work it home. And then same again. Apply to the rest of the piece. Working it well in. So I'll finish with that now. That can be put to one side. Right, that's dry now. Same again. Denib. Make sure you get all areas. Not too much pressure, you don't want to knock that detail out. All the dust out. Ready for some Yorkshire grit. So here we go. Just rub it in first, just make sure it's got a good coating. Don't shove it straight into that texture. A bit that's left on the tissue will be able to work that shortly. So here we go. There you go. Not too fast just yet, don't want it flinging off everywhere. Let's get it worked in a bit before we up the speed. Feeling, always feeling. My brain's making pictures and calculations and just processing things. Let's turn her up a bit now. Keep working it in. Don't want to move to a clean piece of tissue just yet, because any Yorkshire grit that hasn't done its work, you just take it off. So I can tell by the sound that I'm not there yet, and I can tell by the feel. But I think I'm there now, so move to a clean piece. Make sure we're getting all areas. Move to another clean piece. Should be sufficient. That's feeling really nice. So, time for some friction polish. Give that a good shake. Move the cap, because I'm always knocking that on the floor. That's how I feel. Okay. Off we go. Just a gentle touch at first. Stop it getting that initial grab. Working it well in. Straight away there's a different smell coming off now, because you can smell the polish. It's a very simple project this, but I've made a few for Hoghton Tower now, and they've all sold really well. Get some heat into that. Feeling pretty good. Stop that now. Have just a nice feel with the back of my finger. Apart from it being lovely and warm, it feels really nice. So I shall just get my carnauba wax. puppy worked in now. I don't put any in the centre, in the mortise. There'll be enough on the cloth just to give that a thin coating of carnauba. So you have to keep working this in, get it melted in. Move to a clean piece. And I'm just going to let that set up. Got some schmutz on my fingers here. Just going to let that set up now, and then we can give it a final buff. And that'll be part one done, folks. So literally just give it a couple of minutes. So it sounds like it stopped raining, which is nice. All this bad weather we're having here in the northwest, I don't know if it's caused by all this terrible weather that's happening over in the Caribbean and the east coast of the States and things. It's shocking. Actually, I've got relatives in Florida on holiday. They rent a home there every year, or a couple of times a year, and I think they've had to have the house boarded up, and they were saying the power was out and things. So yeah, my Auntie Elaine and Uncle Brian, my cousin Sally and her husband Dave, and their baby Thomas, they're over there right now, so I hope they're okay. All they can do is just follow the recommendations of the emergency services, and I mean they've been to Florida, you know, dozens and dozens of times. They holiday there all the time. They absolutely love it. So I'm sure they know what to do, but still, it's scary. But a lot of people will have a lot of relatives in Florida holidaying, won't they? You know, there's lots of people concerned. Right, anyhow, I'm going to get the the phone, off the tripod and try not to drop it. So come with me, folks. Part one, it was going to be a bowl, it's now a pot-pourri pot, but I hope you're seeing that. It's a piece of teak from Denmark, actually. So let's just get my bearings. So yeah, hopefully you're seeing that. It's a piece of teak. So that's the outside done. Tomorrow we're going to hollow it out and make the little lip for the lid to go on. So yeah, it's for Hoghton Tower anyway. So I'm going to go now, folks. So that's it. Just quick and easy this morning. So thank you so very much, and I'm going to sign out and go glitchy. So thanks everybody. Don't forget to thumbs up, share and comment. Much appreciated. Bye folks.